Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting deck profile. Fluff here, bringing you King Piccolo. But before we get into that, make sure you do all the fun YouTubey stuff, like, comment, subscribe, let us know the things you want to see below, yada yada yada. I'm not begging anymore today. So starting off, we've got King Piccolo. Before we get into it, I did want to say Justin Rios's build of this is incredible. If you haven't seen it, it is on Shenron's lair. While building, I did look at his list, and while I built independently of what was in his list, our lists ended up incredibly similar, though I chose to make mine slightly more defensive. I know this deck can go crazy on like turn 2. I don't play that way, so I didn't build the deck that way. But either way, it's an incredibly consistent deck, my list or his list, so feel free to give them both a look. So looking at the leader, leader's really weird. It's the thing about this deck that makes it incredibly weird. You start the game with 6 life, which automatically puts you 2 behind your opponent, but that's okay. The deck is incredibly defensive and does get to go up to 7 at least, or 8 if you activate Rejuvenate once or twice per the game. On the front side, when you attack, you get to choose one Namekian or Demon Clan card in your hand, place it in your life face up, then pick one card in your life up and add it to your hand. When your life is at 2 or less, or you have 2 or more cards face up in your life, you get to draw 3 cards, add the top card of your deck to your life, and then flip this card over. So that's one way that we've regained life in this deck. And then auto, when the leader attacks, you get to place 3 cards from your hand, place them into your life if they're Namekian or Demon Clan, up to 3, by the way. And then you pick that many cards up from your life and add them to your hand. So it's a great way to store things in your life or set your life up or pick needed cards up from your life. And then activate battle once per turn. If you have a red Namekian or Demon Clan cards flipped face up in your life, place the top card of your deck face up in your life and then combo with a red Namekian or Demon Clan card in your life. So again, it's not a net change in the number of cards in your life, but it is a great way to actually combo with the cards out of your life, which we gain a lot of advantage from. Plus it replaces itself. It also helps you move through the resources in your deck. So that's the leader. Moving on. Starting off, we've got the Unison, Piccolo Jr., Descendant of the King. This Unison is fantastic. It's a specified 2 red, 15,000. When your opponent activates a counter skill, you KO one of their battle cards with 15,000 power or less. And then it does not ignore barrier on that, so be mindful of that. +1 is a draw 1, and then -2 is a lot to chew on, but basically you're going to choose one of your battle cards, then you choose all of your opponent's battle cards and KO any battle card with battle power less than the chosen card. So it doesn't ignore barrier, but it will clear the opponent's field off if they've decided to go wide. Then by removing an additional 2 markers as part of that skill at any time that turn, you get to activate Rejuvenate, which lets you put another card into your life and basically heal, get younger, whatever King Piccolo likes to do. So Unison's fantastic, makes the deck go, can punish your opponent. Your opponent will waste a lot of resources trying to clear this out, but don't sleep on that -2 effect. It is absolutely fantastic and one of the reasons that this deck can keep up. Moving into the Demon Clan stuff, we've got Piano, Reign of Terror. This is unique. Once per turn, if your leader card is a King Piccolo, which it is, when a card is placed in your life face up from any area other than your life, you get to draw 1 card. So if you place a card from your hand into your life, if you place a card from the top of your deck into your life, you get to activate Piano's effect and draw 1, which is a great way for us to move through. Then if he's removed by skill, you choose 1 face-up card in your life, flip it face down, and play this card from your drop area with its skills negated. So it really de-incentivizes your opponent from trying to get rid of him or deal with him, and he just provides us advantage in this build. So Piano is one of the first cards that you want to put on the field because the longer that he's there, the more cards you're going to have in your hand. It doesn't cost you anything to use his effect to draw. So just as long as you're flipping cards up or placing cards in your in your life face up, you get to draw. So keep him on the field as long as humanly possible. If your opponent gets rid of him multiple times during a turn, be prepared to reestablish another one. They do have unique, so you can't just stack multiple out. That would be busted if you could. The other one drop that we play is King Piccolo, Dragon Ball Obsession. When you play this card, you basically scry the top 5 and grab a Namekian or Demon Clan with energy costs of 4 or less, add them to your hand, or 1 red unison with specified cost of 2. So this will grab any of the Demon Clan things, it'll grab any of the Namekians that we play, and it will grab the unison that we play. So tons of targets to hit on that, plus this is a kickoff for one of our bigger plays in the deck. Continuing the discussion of Demon Clan, we've got 4 Drum Reign of Terror. He is a 3-drop unique blocker. At the end of the battle where this card is used in a combo from your life, play this card. So part of the leader's skill is to combo with cards in your life, so you get to play this guy out. After you combo with him, he's not unique, but so you can have multiple of these guys on the field. But then also when they're played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards. It gets minus 10,000 power for the turn. So this is a great way to get rid of stuff like Black Mass Saiyan. You know, you could even wait till turn 3, hard cast a drum, neg out the Black Mass Saiyan, and then continue to go off if you had to, or just to heck with it, lose the 2 cards in your hand to get rid of the Black Mass Saiyan by playing the drum. He's susceptible to counterplays, but you're not typically wasting anything to play this guy out. So 4 of those because the block is really good. Then we've got Symbol, Reign of Terror. Symbol, like the drum, also gets to play out of life, or played if it's comboed from the life. And then activate main once per turn if your leader card is a red King Piccolo, which of course it is. We get to choose 1 red unison card with Rejuvenate, which is the only unison that we run. Place 1 red Demon Clan card from your drop area under that unison, which is essential for activating its Rejuvenate skill. Then we get to draw 1 card and add an additional marker to that unison. So the unison we're going to play for 2. If we have a symbol in play when we've got it, by activating Symbol's effect, we automatically go to 3, which means we get to keep our unison if we decide to -2 that turn, or we can +1 to put it up to 4 for only 2 energy. So Symbol's fantastic. I was really not on this card, and the ones I actually played it, I saw how brilliant this card is. So I think this is one of the more valuable pieces in the deck. So just a 15,000 vanilla body after that, but not bad at all. Then we play 3 of the Tambourine, Reign of Terror. Again, plays when comboed from life. But he is the one piece that has unique, so we only run 3 of him. But when he attacks, if you have up to 3 cards in your life face up, or you have a red unison in play with a specified cost of 2, when you swing, you get to restand him, and he gains 5,000 once per turn. So he will, on the first swing, become 20,000. He gets to restand, do another swing at 20,000 as well. So basically a dual attack once you're set up. But this is usually the card that we're going to pump up to pressure with. So we'll pump this guy's battle power up to generally around 40,000, and then he'll be able to swing twice. So fantastic card. Just 3 of those. Speaking of the pump up effect, we do run 3 of the King Piccolo Time to Fight. When a card evolves into this card, which is going to be the 1-drop Piccolo that we talked about earlier, you get to search your deck for a Demon Clan or Namekian or red unison with specified cost of 2 and add it to your hand. But then when this card is played or when this card attacks, you get to choose one of your battle cards, and it gains 20,000 for the turn. So it's an absolutely fantastic way to bump up the Tambourine to utilize with the -2 on the unison. So generally we will EX evolve into King Piccolo, plus 20 on the Tambourine, -2 on the Tambourine, to then KO any battle card with 35 or 40,000 power or less. So absolutely fantastic. Love this card. We only play it a 3 of because we don't always want to play it, but we do want to be able to see it once when we need it. Then we run 3 of the Piccolo Jr. King Scion. This is the promo boy, kind of one of the expensive, half expensive portions of the deck, but he is a counter attack, negate the attack, play this card in rest mode, and then you can't activate skills on this, counter skills on this for the turn. But he does have unique double strike. He is a blocker, but he's played in rest mode, so your opponent gets a chance to swing at him. But basically, during the opponent's turn, he reduces cost by 2 if you have a red unison with a specified cost of 2. You get to activate his counter skill without paying its energy cost. So you don't need to have the energy cost. You don't need to have the open energy to play this guy out. So as long as you've got your unison out, your opponent swings, counter attack, play this guy. They're then incentivized to try to get rid of this card or give you a double attack next, or double strike next turn. So absolutely fantastic. It is unique. You can only have one on the field, but you just want to see him when you can see him. Then we've got Raditz Sand Youth Super Combos, playing these for quality control. In this deck, it can sometimes be hard to get below 4 life, or 4 or less, to make this worthwhile. And for that, I've considered playing the 5 or less, or even the Sparking Negates, or Sparking Super Combos, just because it can sometimes be difficult for these to become live. I know playing in locals this last weekend, there were games where I was just sitting on 3 Raditz waiting for my opponent to get me to 4 or less. So they're fantastic once they're live, but sometimes they can be dead. And Jimmy actually said to me, I've never heard anyone complain because they had super combos in their hand. But my hand was pretty much just super combos waiting for my opponent to get me down to 4. So we fixed that in the revised version. Other utility, we've got 2 Furthering Destruction Champas. These will just help us close out the game a little bit faster, either with our Unison, or on any of the Demon Clans, or the King Piccolos, or the Unison, or the leader itself. We'll just be able to bump them up to a plus 10,000 double strike. So, of course, Champa's really good. Because we are running a red unison that can easily get up to 3 markers, we are running 3 King Piccolo, the new ruler, is a double strike that plays for free, warps at the end of the turn, as long as our unison has 3 or more markers on it. And your opponent can't activate blocker in response to this card's attack, so he is only at 15,000, but he is double strike, and that's incredibly relevant. Almost consider this like an overwhelm in the deck. Then, second to last battle card, we play 2 Topo Righteous Aid. I initially built this to include 0 Topos, but once I realized that the 4-drop Piccolo is free, the Piccolo Jr. is free, we will have 2 energy open to play Topo if the game ends up going that long, or we need to stifle our opponent from Zorging out on our Unison. So 2 Topos for Floods. And then last battle card is SS4 Bardock. Fighting Against Fate. It's a 25,000 dual attack over realm 6. You're going to be using this to close the game out most of the time. Once you've pressured your opponent, cleared their field, they're tapped out, they're low on cards in hand, we'll play this, we'll swing, we'll Champa if we need to. But just one of these, because we don't want to overwhelm a lot. There's no real need to. And then as the secret rare, I play 1 Heroine's Lineage. You don't have to play a secret rare in this, but why not? This can really change the tide of a certain game. So we've got this guy. Then moving on to extra cards, we've got 3 of the Attack of the Demon Clan. These are Activate Battle for 1. You choose 1 card in your life that is Namekian or Demon Clan with energy cost of 3 or less. Place it in your life, then combo with 1 card in your life. So turn 1 will typically pass with nothing on the field, especially if we go first, and then your opponent swings, will activate Attack of the Demon Clan and get to put out one of our Demon Clan pieces. So this is usually what we want to use for that. So we are running 3 of these guys. They're fantastic for the combo phase and pushing. Then I run 4 Violent Rays. I think Violent Ray right now is much better than Topo, because Violent Ray doesn't give your opponent the option to play through or try to push past it. They just win outright. So, or it just stops your opponent outright. So you do have to discard a card for this, which kind of sucks, but you only want to use it when you absolutely need it, or if your opponent's going to storm off on you. So we've got 4 of those. Then lastly, I played 2 After Image Techniques. I wasn't running these initially. I was running Wolfang Fists, but I decided to remove the Wolfang Fist in favor of the After Image Techniques so that I could put myself at 4 life if I was sitting at 5 and had dead super combos in hand. So that was the whole thought of these. I thought this would be better. It would help protect the Unison if we're trying to protect that, or protect one of the big battle cards that we've got. So 2 after image technique. That, by my count, is a 50 card deck. Hopefully you guys made it through the rambling. I know the deck, I know I kind of skipped and stuttered a little bit there, but my phone has been ringing nonstop the entire deck profile, and it kind of threw me off. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really did. I've really enjoyed playing this deck. It's a ton of fun. It is meta. It is an incredibly good deck, and it's pretty budget if you don't consider Violent Ray. So give this deck a shot. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Read your cards, know your plays. Let us make mistakes so you don't have to. And like always, Fluf out.